10 minutes daily reality check coming directly from you, from a really fun place, a place where you get to spike your body temperature down to 232 degrees. But before we find out about what this ridiculous method of making yourself feel better is all about, I'm going to ask Matt one question. And one question that he needs to think about over and over again, right? Favorite Billions character this season and why?
Wags. It's always Wags.
Wags?
Yeah, he's just a sick son of a bitch. But he's got his back 100%. That's why. That's why I like him.
Do you know I rewatched the episode when Wags went to the sushi place last night? Because my girlfriend is catching up on it. Remember that season 2?
Oh, where they call him out.
He calls him out. He goes, "Don't you dip that. This guy went to
He
Culinary
didn't know who it
Institute."
was.
Right? And he goes, "That's Michael Wagner from Max Cap. Sorry for the respect." And it's funny. What's the backstory of Wags? Was Wags ever a trainer? A trader? Not a trainer. Was he ever a trader?
I think he did something for Bobby, like, that we'll never know about, that he got his back on some kind of effed up thing that Bobby did, and Wags covered for it. So Bobby will always take care of Wags, too.
So you don't think Wags was ever really a trader, really didn't have the skills? I mean, or...
Like more of a, if you can't do, teach sort of deal?
Interesting. So you think there's a good backstory, because we need some new backstory, right? Because, if you haven't been caught up, this is a spoiler alert.
He manages the people and gets them in line. I think that's the thing that Bobby needs. He needs the right hand. Bobby can't be on the floor dealing with their bullshit.
And then Wendy is the performance coach, which gets everybody to work.
When they go off the track,
she
puts them back on.
Okay, so
they don't function without her.
Think about how interesting that is.
That's why he was willing to
bite the bullet
for her. Because he even said it. He said it to the attorney. He's like, "You like that nice house or whatever, wherever it is?" He's like, "That's because of her."
Yeah, that house in Sagaponack.
You
don't know the New York shoreline,
no,
do you?
I don't.
Sagaponack's beautiful.
But he's like, "I got you that house, and she got me here, so that house is because of her." So.
Okay, so when it comes down to starting a business, because you're an entrepreneur too, it's not your skills, it's everybody else's skills that are around you.
Correct.
Right?
And reliability.
And teamwork, right?
Yeah.
There's teamwork, there's everything else, and there's reliability. So, I mean, when you hire people for work and stuff like that, what do you look for? Because I think a lot of people, you're only as strong as your team. I mean, if you look at, is Doug Peterson a great coach of the Eagles? Or is Howie Rosen the best GM in football because he got him all the players and all his assistant coaches from Jim Schwartz to everything else?
It's a double teamer because Howie's ridiculous at making deals and Doug Peterson's a player's coach. So they want to play harder for somebody like that as opposed to a coach, I think, that's a micromanager asshole.
Okay, but you've been an entrepreneur and I've been an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
In all your years of being an entrepreneur, most of the time we find people that suck.
Yeah, and
right?
they're either gonna be that person or they're not. You're not gonna make them into that person.
That's an interesting thing. We can't make someone. I think a lot of people always do that in relationships.
Mm-hmm.
They date somebody with potential, and then they see the potential, and they try to make the person into.
Obviously, you see the looks right away, and then there's a couple faults in there that you're like, oh, but they're really good looking. I can work around that, or maybe I can change them. No,
can't change anybody.
They're drunk. They're always going to be drunk. They're rude. They're always going to be rude.
They're lazy. They're always going to be lazy.
They're a cheater. They're always going to be a cheater. So
they lie. They're always going to be a liar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because we try so hard in life to make people into what we want them to be. We want them to be. It's like, I mean, I've dated people like that. Oh no, she's going to be really good. She's not going to want that. She's not going to want 6 kids. So I can convince her to have 0 kids, right? She's not going to want this. She's not going to want that. And I think
I think a lot of people say in the beginning they're not completely truthful about who they are and what they want, just so that they fit into the mold of whoever they're trying to date. And then it comes out later. Like, oh, now you want kids. Or, oh,
Why do you think people do that?
Yeah, they always hide in the beginning, I think.
Do you know Facebook? I did a podcast on this yesterday. Facebook is going to have a dating site.
I saw that.
So how are people going to be able to lie when you can easily go to their Facebook profile and actually see what they look like?
They're going to have some kind of limited access to their profile. I don't think you'll have full access. And they'll just like they do on Tinder and Bumble, they'll strategically place
manipulate
the pictures and hide the 10 years ago and 20 pounds ago pictures.
Why are people lying so much? I mean, we go in, and you've dated a lot. People lie nonstop. Every time you go on a date, you go, oh.
Yeah.
It's like you double check, and you look, and, it's like they don't look like and they never look like their pictures. Mm-mm. Ever. I mean, how many women that you've actually met that looks like their pictures?
I would say here, a good amount. But when I lived in Texas and I did it, it was 50-50. And it was drastic. One day it was almost to the point where I'm sitting at the bar waiting for her, and she taps me on the shoulder. I'm legitimately waiting for her. I have no idea who she is. That's how different she looked. Thought she was just coming up and thought I was someone else.
Oh my God, I remember there was one date, I was sitting outside the Coral Tree Cafe in Brentwood, and this girl that I thought she sort of resembled the picture that was up there. She comes limping down the street, 50 pounds overweight, right? And I'm thinking to myself, that can't be her. That can't be her.
But what's the end game?
I mean, well, it was interesting. She sits down, right? And I'm just like, who the fuck are you? Right? And she goes, hi, David, and I go, hi. And look, she's a human being, and I'm going to be very nice. I'm not going to blow her out or leave. And she starts crying.
Right off the bat.
Right off the bat, starts crying. True story, right? This is probably 10 years ago. Right off the bat, starts crying. And I go, what's wrong? She goes, I know you're not attracted to me. Nobody is now. I used to be a lot thinner. I swear I'm going to lose the weight. I just wanted to meet you because I thought maybe, you would see that I was a real person.
Yeah, but she started off with a lie.
Oh, she started off with a lie. She started bawling. Yeah. And I looked at her and I said, you shouldn't be dating. You should be taking care of yourself. You should be working out with a trainer. You should be eating. You should be loving yourself.
Or if you are going to date, you got to put your real pictures up.
She didn't want to. And I said, why are you putting your real picture up? She goes, well, I'm not attracted to the men. I like men that look like you. I'm not attracted to the men who are heavier. And I said, when did you get heavy? And she says to me, she goes, about a year ago. She goes, I had something wrong with my thyroid and I'm depressed and I ate too much, right? And she goes, I've never been heavy my entire life. So she goes, if I was heavy, it was interesting. She goes, if I was heavy my entire life, I'd be okay with it.
She knew how to deal with it. Yeah.
I know how to deal with it. She goes, but I'm really a skinny
She was used
person.
to being skinny and pretty.
Yeah. And she started crying. I just looked at her. I said, let me tell you something. I said, I'm going to give you a hug. I'm going to tell you never to date again until you just fucking start loving yourself again. Either you're going to love yourself as somebody who's overweight right now, or you're going to start to lose the weight and wait then to date. But in the meantime, you're not going to convince a man.
You're nothing but hurting yourself.
And it was so sad, and she thanked me for that. But yet so many people play those games.
Do you think she took your advice?
Last time I saw her, man, she was like 550 pounds, and no, I have no idea. I never saw her again.
Well, most people that do that, there's a person I know, older gentleman, who's had some trouble on the dating sites. And when I say older than 60, 70 years old, something like that, and just keeps getting let down. And I told him, go off of it for a month. It's making you feel shitty about yourself. And he oh, yeah. But he didn't. He never went off of it. So it's like people, it's almost like they're addicted to that rejection, or maybe they're addicted to, maybe there's that little sparkle of hope that there's somebody out there. But I mean, then it's hard enough now getting into it at 30 or 40. But
I agree, it's what you are now. Let's talk about something that can change the way people feel about themselves, right? We, compassion, empathy, and everything else. I mean, we're not going to teach people how to date because people are going to be mean no matter what, right? But you own a business called Coast Cryo in Marina Del Rey.
Correct.
Something that I have been doing for 3 years, maybe 3 years, right? And I used
2 years here, yeah.
Yeah, I used to be stiff as can be when I used to get up. I used to stand up, my lower back would be so stiff. I'd always tell people all the time on dates, listen, I'm really not 100, okay? So what you're about to witness right now is very embarrassing to me.
Yeah.
I started going in and I started chilling my body to negative 254 degrees for 3 minutes.
Were you still on your shitty diet at that point too?
No, I've always been on a good diet.
Always on a good diet?
Yeah, I've always been on a good diet. But I started doing the cryo. God, I can never fucking say it, right?
Everyone calls it cryo.
Or cryo.
Cryotherapy.
So what is it exactly and why is it beneficial? And then we'll talk about what somebody said that, remember when I got my... I did my spit test.
Yeah.
Right? And the guy goes, it can't be right. Yeah. You're too healthy, right?
The cryo's throwing everything
throwing everything off. And then I didn't do it for 2 weeks, and then my spit test was up. But the question is, did the cryo throw it off, or did it actually make my body optimize and be far better? I mean, why, if if I'm doing cryo every single day,
Right.
and all my adrenals and everything are at the level of 15, 16-year-old, and all my cortisol and everything else from spitting into the tube is at a low level, what's wrong with that? So what? If I stop doing cryo, it goes up. That's just like with any other, if anybody takes any type of herb,
Right.
You can take an herb, and then if you stop taking it, your blood sugars might go up, right?
Yeah.
So what's wrong with that? I mean, there's so many health benefits. So
nothing.
What are the health benefits to this?
So initially, as I always say, it was invented years ago. I mean, people have been using ice therapy for hundreds, thousands of years, but the actual cryotherapy, which is you're getting in a cold chamber anywhere from negative 240 to 320 below zero Fahrenheit. You're getting in there for 3 minutes with nothing on for, in your case, as a man, socks, slippers, underwear, and gloves. Women will do it, same thing, but with no underwear or top. You want to have skin exposed. But basically what's happening is it's reducing inflammation in the body. So it was invented for rheumatoid arthritis, I believe in the early 70s in Japan. Kind of came back into vogue probably, I don't know, what'd you say, about 10 years ago, something like
10,
that.
Yeah.
Took a little while. It's still, I mean, there's still a ton of people have no idea what it is. But the things I've seen in here, and you've met him before, James, that used to come in here. For people who don't know, he was about 65, 66, had fallen off a ladder, was semi-paralyzed for a while, had a ton of nerve damage, could barely walk, looked like he was 90 years old walking in here.
And he's a vibrant guy.
Vibrant guy,
Yeah.
Spitfire, inside, but his body couldn't keep up. And a super in shape guy before it happened. Road raced with like bicycles, like Lance Armstrong type riding, but without the EPO. But anyway, he did it and was pain-free for 3 hours the first day. And then, he signed up for the month and just did it every day, sometimes twice a day. That 3 hours turned into 4 and 5 and half the day and then the whole day and then maybe a couple days. It's the only thing that made him through. Couldn't deal with the painkillers anymore. Couldn't deal with the nerve blockers. They just make you like a zombie. I mean, anybody that says it doesn't work hasn't tried it. And, can't knock something until you try it. Are there studies out there that says it doesn't work? Sure. Are there studies out there that says it does work? Of course. You can find that with anything. I mean, it is still technically a therapy, but I'd say over 95% success rate of people that come in here.
I mean, I had so many things. What about the guy who moved to D.C.? Remember him? He got hit by a car?
Oh, yeah.
Remember, he was a mess.
I mean, he couldn't walk.
He couldn't walk.
Yeah.
Vibrant guy also.
Yeah.
Really fun, really awesome guy. He was good. I'd love to come in here and rap it out with him.
Yeah. I've seen a ton of people. I always ask when people come in, like, I don't want something to be wrong with anyone, but I like them coming in with some soreness or some pain or whatever, so we see a difference when you get out. Like, everyone's going to feel, you get this unbelievable endorphin rush, mood boost. You get that right away. So everyone sees that right away. But I like to see when somebody's coming in with, a sore back or knee, and they're like, holy shit, like my knee's not even sore, I can move it. And some people could say it's a placebo effect, and, if I tell you you're going to sleep well, you'd be like, oh, yeah, you know what, I did sleep well. Well, not every day, or not every time that somebody goes in do I remember every benefit. So they'll come in the next day and be like, holy shit, you didn't tell me, like, how well I was going to sleep, or this or that, or, I've noticed my skin start to look better, because it helps with that, too. I mean, it was originally invented for inflammation, but, we're talking 10 things or 7 or 10 things that it helps. You got inflammation, muscle recovery, pain management, mood, weight loss, helps with hangovers, helps with sleep, like I said. I mean, it's just, the list kind of goes on and on. So it's a cumulative thing, it's something you want to, continue. If you're not going to do it, we have people that come every day, but a couple times a week, it's going to keep you in good shape. And then people start feeling so good, and they're like, I don't think it's really working anymore. Okay, well, take a break for a little bit. They take a break, and then they're back here in 2 weeks like, oh, like, I've taken
a break, and I get stiff.
Yeah, I'm back to, like, I can't get out of bed, and my knee's starting to hurt again. I'm like, yeah, because you're coming, and it was cumulative, and you had that inflammation down. And there's some cases where you want inflammation in the body. So this is, like, if you're doing the PRP shot, you want inflammation from that, so you don't want to do this while you're doing that. But Other than that, I mean, there's only a couple preclusions you can't do if you're pregnant. We do check. Your blood pressure goes up a little bit in the machine. So if you've got super high blood pressure to begin with, you want to wait till it calms down a little bit. So don't, have a triple shot espresso before you come in here. Other than that, it's very safe. We're in there the whole time with you. You can stop at any time. It's a pretty enjoyable experience. It's not as bad as everyone thinks it's going to be.
I love it.
Yeah, because it just puts you in a great mood after you're done too.
I love it. It's the best. To me, it's the most favorite thing I could do all day long. I get a rush. I feel better. I feel more grounded. If I'm tired, I feel more alert. My body feels good. I do it before I work out.
Yeah. You can do it either way. I do it like
I'm working out today. I'm working out in half an hour.
You could do it as a little like natural pre-workout, or you could do it post-workout because you're already hot and it's easier to get through the session. Because I'll be honest, I'm not going to sugarcoat that. It's sometimes a little difficult to get through the session. It's like I said, negative 250, 260 degrees. But if you come in after a workout, there's nothing feels better than that. And then it's going to alleviate that soreness.
Where can they find you?
We are in Marina del Rey, Venice area on Washington Boulevard in between Abbot Kinney and Lincoln. It's 3007 Washington Boulevard, Suite 100. Either Marina del Rey or Venice. We're kind of right on the border, but open 7 days a week, 10 to 7 during the week, 10 to 4 on the weekends. Walk-ins are welcome.
Ask for the first-time discount, too. Mention you get a first-time discount, and Matt will hook you up.
And it's at Coast Cryo on Instagram or just Coast Cryo on Facebook. You can look us up there, check out some of the other people that have done it, and we'd love to have you in.
Perfect. See you at the freeze. See you tomorrow.